Okay folks, welcome back. I got the top part of the hat pretty well down where I need it to go. You know, and I've been working on it a little bit here and there. Just see how it's tapered at an angle here. This is supposed to be the smallest portion, and it goes out a little bit. Well, we excuse me just a moment here. Alright, we had a, so we have that done. Now, when we do the hat, we want to make it the same width on both sides from the outside. Okay, that's a little bit smaller, but we want to try to get the same width all the way around. And so I have this already marked where I'm going to be cutting this out. Okay, this out and this out. So we're just going to go around and we'll finish up. We're going to take the knife and we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to do our little stop cut. Okay, and we're just going to go down into that. Alright. And in fact, what you want to do is make sure that you're following your line on this side. So we're doing like a top view, then we'll blend everything in a little bit later. So you got your side view because you actually did it on a bandsaw. Alright, and there we go. That's what you want to do. And you just want to kind of work your way around. Make sure that you have your line. You can put a line all the way across because that's going to be definitely there anyway. Just to give you an idea. Alright, just go all the way across where you put that line. Alright, and what you want to do is you just want to go back here and you want to start chopping out that corner to follow that line. You want to do that to both sides. You know, we'll worry about shaping it up to blend everything in a little bit later, but right now you're just trying to get the hat made. Okay, that is the focal point of this, along with the tail. And when you start cutting the tail out later on, I don't want you, I don't want you cutting too much of the hat off, because it does come to a point. Now here's my line here. All right, and we're going to follow that line. Hat. So let's just put a stop cut all the way across. Oops. Try to keep it as straight as you can. And same thing over here. We're going to kind of chop out this corner. Alright. Like I said, some of this will be done offline because it's just repetitive. But to give you an idea of what we're doing here. And I won't really shape this hat until later because once we get it rounded, I don't want to leave, because the hat's going to taper off like it is in the front here. It's going to come to a point. I don't want to make it too weak when I'm trying to shape the body on the bottom, or chip it out. So it'd be harder to glue those little pieces in if you happen to chip it out. So we're just going to go around and we're going to follow those guidelines that I made and just go back here and cut it out. A detail knife works really well. Make sure your knife is good and sharp. If your knife is good and sharp, you should have a enjoyable time to carve this. Okay. Alright, that's what I want to do. Okay, and then we're going to go back here and we're going to just trim this off a little bit, make it even. When you look at it from the top, you can see it's starting to merge. Now that hat's going to be in the tail a little bit, like it's shoved in there a little bit. So we don't need to go all the way to the center. But you're just going to eyeball it and keep working you know, try to get some of it. I'll probably go up to maybe a 1/4 of an inch there and try to round this up a little better. Alright. Just take your time, folks, doing this. You know, it's an awkward, when you cut out pieces like this and they're large, they're harder to hang on to, and that's when you can cut yourself and nick yourself and all that. I did a little bit there, you can tell, when I was offline or online. I don't even remember when I did it. It happened so quickly, so just be careful. Alright, so you see the hat? Okay, we have that corner done. Now I gotta go over here and do the back corner here, and also in the front. Well, we can work on the front. I'll do the other one when I'm offline, that I can hang on to a little bit better with the table. Again, just use a lot of, you know, a lot of this is little bits at a time, not taking big chunks out. We're not looking to, you know, finish this in a day or so. You know, if you really worked at it, you probably could finish it in a day. But since this is even new to me, I usually take my time a little bit with it and eyeball it a lot. See if I have to take more wood off someplace or not, you know. Now out here it's going to be his feet, okay, sticking out from underneath, and we'll figure all that out a little bit later. Like you, I have no idea how it's going to turn out, so I haven't done one of these before. I've done the pilgrim last year, or 2 years ago, and I did the turkey also. If you're interested in doing that, I do have projects on that on YouTube. Feel free to go over there and take a look at it. And you know, a lot of this stuff, a lot of the carving was done just from thinking up, the projects came from just thinking up ideas. Okay, so see, we have that corner and that corner done. Now we're going to go back over here and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to try to do a little stop cut and go back and cut it out. Now here you want to almost go to the front. This definitely has to be rounded. Alright. I see my knife needs sharpening. Let me explain this to you. See this little white mark? I don't know if you can see that really well. This little white mark tells me something's wrong with the knife that I'm using. Because if I do this again, it should show up again somewhere. See? There it is. Alright? So if you're carving and you see that, like I am right there, then it's time to take it to a strop. And this is the strop that I use. And I just use that probably every maybe half an hour, 40 minutes. I usually strop it. Some people do it every 20. But when you really get into a piece, you kind of lose track of time, like I'm doing right now. So I'll be right back. I'm going to finish up this corner and the other, and then this will be rounded along with the top, and then we'll start with the tail. Alright, we'll be back.